Good morning, one and all. As I have left the discussion on fixation of pages and price and other items of the newspaper, today some points are required to be clarified. Number one, as you have seen under Section 1 of 1956 Act that the effectiveness of this act of 1956 was only five years, but 5 years means it has completed in the year 1961. But in the 1961, the another act enacted by the parliament to extend the enforcement operation and the life of the legislation 1956. And what was that aspect related to the act of 1956, act number 45? And that was the in the year 1961 another act has enacted, a small act having two sections only. And the date of the 1956 Act was the 7th September 1956. On 7th September 1956, it has got the assent from the President of India. Then the 5 year has completed on the 6th September 1961. Because of the provision of Section 1, subclause 3. The effectiveness, it has written that for the 5 years. It means either to enact the new law or to implement the same and to extend its life for the further period. What the legislature has did, as I have said that in the yesterday lecture, that some order has passed by the executive as a delegated legislation, and that order was the 1960, 62, and continuously later on also because of the mandate of the legislation, and thus the to nullify the subsection 3 of Section 1 of 1956. Another act, as I have said, the having the two sections enacted by the parliament. This is the name of that law is the Newspaper Price and Page within bracket and Continuous Act 1961. Continuous Act. Its name is the Newspaper Price and Page Continuous Act 1961. Because of the extension of the life or enforcement of the provisions of 1956, and to nullify the subclause 3, or we can say to extend the enforcement or operational system of the legislation for the next year. And what is this 1961 Act? 6th September 1961, it has got the assent from the President. And according to the Section 5 of the General Clauses Act 1897, it has immediately came into force because there was no prescribed date for its notification. It has came at once in force, and thus the arrangement of the sections are there. There are two sections, and one is short title and another is the amendment of the section 1 of 1956 Act, and subclause 3. There was one amendment. For single amendment, a act has passed by the parliament in the year 1961, having the two sections only. Very interesting. If you will see the legislative procedure, if any amendment it requires to be done by the competent legislature to place it before the floor of the parliament and by making the legislation. And what is that 1961 legislation? Because therefore this legislation has not been incorporated in the portion of the subsection 3 of section 1, and a separate act is there, and that separate act says that the basically the title of the, it may be called the Newspaper Price and Pageage Act 1961. The meaning of these two acts, 1956 and 1961 act, they are separate in their area, number one. Number two, it is a act which has no indirect connection as a amendment on the section 1 subsection 3 of 1956. It is not amendment, but it is a separate act. That's why I have said that some questions I have raised. If there is the act of this 5 years life of that act, then what, why, and the reasons behind it, why this is the subject matter of study. That was the question. And the answer of this question partly I have given in my previous lectures, and the remaining portion we are going to be discussed today by quoting the 1961 act as made by the parliament to extend the life of that act or to omit the subclause 3 of the section 1 of that 1956 act. And the section 2 of 1961 says that in section 1 of Newspaper Price Page Act 1956, 45 of 1956, subsection 3 shall be omitted. Subsection 3 shall be omitted. This is the language of the section 2 of 1961. And subsection 3 was that it shall be for only 5 years. It means that the whole the provision as it has prescribed under subsection 3 of section 1 of 1956 has omitted. That has omitted. The word is omitted. The word is not repealed. The word is not amended. That word is not insert. The word is not incorporate. It is a word omitted. It means that Act of 1956 is in full operation. Only one portion has omitted. And secondly, this is the separate act of 1961. Though it says that the subclause 3 of section 1 of 1956 has omitted. The meaning of these two acts are very clear, that both the two acts are in operation. 1956, 45 of 1956, and at the same time of the act number 36 of the 1961. This is categorically very clear that for extension of its life forever, this act subclause 3 of section 1 has been omitted. It has been omitted categorically. And thus the 1956 act is at present in the operation. This is very clear. Now come to the definition. As I have said that there are two words. One is related to daily newspaper. Another is related to the a newspaper, meaning of the newspaper. Daily newspaper, as you have seen, the daily newspaper means 6 days in a week, and they include the supplementary and a special issues editions, as we have seen the Sunday edition yesterday. And then B says that of section 2, B defines the newspaper. And it means, think over it, it means the newspaper's definition is also related with the daily newspaper also. The some portion of the daily newspapers is have the special character, which says that it shall be published in 6 days in a week, and a supplementary and a special issue also shall be published. The meaning of this, the first portion, daily newspaper, is there. The second aspect which says that newspaper meaning means where there is a printed periodical work, public news, and comments on the public news. Everything comes within the daily newspaper, as well as apart from or besides the daily newspaper, other newspapers will shall come within the definition of the newspaper. Not only that daily newspaper. Daily newspaper, it covers the newspaper also, and this is called the analysis of this aspect of the section 2 of the newspaper. But section 3 is the gist and soul of the whole act of 1956, 45 of 1956, and it has came into force on the 7th September 1956 according to the provision of General Clauses Act of the 1897, Act number 10 of the 1897. It came into existence on the 7th September, that is the 1956. Okay. Then what is that soul? The soul of this act is divided into 4 subclauses. The section 3 is divided into 4 subclauses. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the section 3 subclause 2 is again divided into 4 groups, A, B, C, D. Whole section is divided into 4 clauses, and the subsection 2 of section 3 is divided into the 4 parts, that is A, B, C, D. Now this is the first para of the analysis of section 3, that the division of this section 3. And what is the clause 1? The question, what is the clause 1? What are the provisions under the clause 1 of section 3? Under clause 1, the power of the center government has prescribed. The power of the center government is categorically expressed under subclause 1 of section 3. What is that power? The power of that center government means the center government power is preventing unfair competition. As you have seen in the preamble or object goal of this legislation of 1956. First power is, or first you can say the power as well as the duty also of the center government to prevent, because the word it has been written the prevent. Whenever it has written the prevent, it indicates the duty of the center government to the competition which is unfair in between the newspapers, in between the newspaper owners who are publishing the newspaper. Among the newspapers, that may be the smaller, and it may be the basically of the larger paper or largest paper. It may be largest paper or smaller paper to be maintain the equality doctrine in between the smaller and the largest newspaper. It shall be the duty of the center government to prevent the unfair trade and competition. It is not a trade, it is a competition, because the newspaper publishing is a social service, And if you will see that very interesting provision under the 1867 Act, which is related to the registration of books and the newspaper, if the time will permit, because today I have to complete this chapter. Then center government notified time to time to regulate the newspapers for the purpose of the fixing the prices as charged by the newspaper publishers. Center government have the duty to prevent the unfair competition in between the larger sectors newspaper and the small newspapers to make them in the equal platform. This is one, under the clause 1. And the second part says that it shall be the center government's duty to regulate the newspaper by fixing the price of the newspapers as being charged by the newspaper owners. This is the second. And third says that minimum and maximum pages shall be fixed by the center government according to the provision of section 3 subclause 1. It is also the power to fix the pages, minimum and maximum pages. And the third is related to the allotment of the advertisement, means that the pages, how many pages shall be for the advertisement. And other matters, it is a discretionary power, it is a wide power, it is a, you can say that a blank check in the hand of the center government has been given by the legislature, that other matters, but other matters shall be interpreted according to the system and doctrine principles of the interpretation, which says that the ejusdem generis. Other matters shall be applied or shall be exercised by the center government according to the other words as written under the subclause 1 and the section 3 of the newspaper price and pages act 1956. In the same manner, means the interpretation shall be taken into consideration according to the words used by the legislature under this subclause 1. Means another words are very easy, that for the fixing price, for the fixing of the pages, minimum and maximum, for the allotment of the space, for advertisement, whatever the interconnected functions is required, that shall be done by the center government according to the words written under subclause 1, section 3, the other matters. This is a clear clarification. So the subclause 2, an order under this section, as I have said that the subclause 2 is divided into 4 parts. And these 4 parts are A, B, C, D. And the first line of this subclause 2 of section 3 says that in order under this section, it may be made in relation to national newspaper, any class of newspaper. It means any class. Generally the power has been given by the legislature under section 3 subclause 2, and the part A of subclause 2 says that the order shall be made in relation to the papers of national newspaper, any class of newspaper, any other newspaper also, any class of newspaper. It may not be the national, it may be periodical, it may be local, it may be a small newspaper. That power vested on the center government to fix the price and pages of the newspaper. Provision for daily newspaper is also the B. Daily newspaper provision are there. As you have seen, there is a definition newspaper and daily newspaper. A under section 2 is daily newspaper and B is the newspaper. For both A and B, it has been written to fix the price and the pages, advertisement, and at the same time what is the required to be done. Other matters, it is the power of the center government as prescribed under section 3. This is the B, which says the separate provisions for weekly, it can be notified by the center government for the weekly newspaper which are publishing in a week periodically, and whatever is there is a definition according you have seen. The C, such period of time of the center government as may deem reasonable. The word is written the reasonable. It is not written the as may deem fit, as may deem reasonable. This is the clause C of subsection 2 of section 3, that the time for the time, it means for the 1 month, 2 month, 1 year, 10 year, 5 year, reasonable time for the how much time means how much what will be the period of its operation of the order, 1 year, 2 year, that fixing of pages and the prices, that reasonable time should be there so that it can be reviewed later on also. D, may provide for the incidental as supplementary. Reasonable flexibility will means the scope shall be there, and that scope normally will relate to the for the further fixing, for the further exercising of the power, a flexibility shall be there, and so that the order which has issued by the center government, that can be modified in the future also. And thus this aspect which says that the center government have the complete power according to the section 3, but only rider is there that to make both the papers who are in a small sector, publishing by a small sector or the larger sector, to make the equality in between them, and to prevent and to avoid the unfair competition in between the papers. That is the criteria, that is called the rider. It has imposed the rider by the legislature. And 4, 5, 6, 7, as I have said that it have the 7 sections, and 4 says that the consultation with the affected, sorry, clause 4 of the section 3 says that at the time of the fixing of or prescribing the pages and the to fix the price, it is not written cost, and it is written the price. It means the price is something less than the cost. The word is price. To fix the price, it is the duty of the center government to ask to the association or to affected persons who are publishing the newspaper. Consultation provisions is there. It is called the consultation. And at the time of making this order, at the time of the issuing this order, as a power given by the legislature, delegated by the legislature, consultant to consultation with the affected party, and fixing of price and pages, the affected party is the owner of the newspaper, to consult to them whether we whatever we are going to issue an order, and certainly what's your opinion about it. The consultancy is essential. If that lacuna will be there in the order will be challenged, because it is a legislative mandate, and that mandate should be fulfilled. And challenging of any order, any executive direction, or the whatever is there, that is the grounds if any aspect and a function, any issue or any order is against the parent act, provision of the parent act, against the provision of constitution, against the provisions of especially of the fundamental right, it can be challenged before the court of law. Therefore consultation is very essential, and if that shall not be followed, then certainly there will be scope and there will be the lacuna, legal lacuna, and due to that legal lacuna, it can be challenged before the court of law. This is the clause 3. And clause 3 should be in your mind at the time of writing, or it is a practical chapter, because fixing of the price, pages, advertisement, and writing in the top of the newspaper and publishing it, what are the basically the criteria, what are the norm and the system of publishing any newspaper. It is a daily use of the human being's life, in the human being's life. It is a routine work, and that should be the in the basically of the knowledge or awareness should be there of about the newspapers, because we the student of law. Then section 4 prohibits of newspaper publication in contravention order, that is, if any newspaper shall not follow the mandate of section 3, then newspapers shall be sold in the contravention of that. It shall be deemed, or it shall be said that that newspaper is in the contravention of the section 3 of the act, and there for that purpose it shall be called the illegal, because the whatever order has passed by the central government, that is the mandatory for all the newspapers to follow it. If it shall not be followed, then it will be said that the performance and the activities and functions of the newspaper publisher is in contravention of the section 3. Section 4 is the language in contravention of the section 3. It cannot be done by any owner of the newspaper, and return to be furnished by the newspaper. Section 5 is very essential, and for the purpose of the section 5, there is the another act is very relevant. The return, annual return, monthly return, quarterly return, whatever the rules will lay for filing the return by, just like a income tax return, just like it is going again to be completed, because I have not take the another class. There is one provision, that provision is prescribed under the one another act. That act is called the Press and Registration of Books Act 1867, and there are the basically the total parts, if we will see, there are 6 parts and the 23 sections in that 1867. Section 5 of 1956, which prescribed the fixing of price and pages of the newspaper, it shall be the duty of the central government for that purpose. For the purpose of section 5, the another act is there. That act, the name of that act is the Press and Registration of Book Act. These are available, and download these acts and go through the every provision, every section, every rules, every aspect, every case law in this regard. That is called the 1967 Act. It is a act of the 1867. It is a act of the 1867 Act. It's an old act, and in that act, the especially of the section 19B is essential for filing the return, and section 19B, capital B, which says that there shall be a register shall be maintained by the registrar. Appointment of registrar shall be under section 19A of the 1867 Act. What the and duty of that registrar is to register the books and the newspaper. It is the duty of that registrar, and that registrar shall keep one register, and there will be the 11 points. The columns will be there. In these 11 points, the first will be the name of the language of the newspaper, and whether second point it is daily or periodical, there will be the second column. Third will be the name of the editor, place of the printing, this will be, and publisher who is publishing it. And next will be the average number of pages, and weekly, whether per week how many pages it has published. not daily, per week, how many pages it has published. Number of days publication in a year, how many days, the total number of the days in a year, that will be the another column. And the average number of copies printed for public. As you have seen the newspaper, the definition of the newspaper is where there is a public news, and where there is a public views, and news and views, both this comes under the newspaper. So how many the copies has published in a year for the public, and how many it has been sold to the public, taking the charges, but how many newspapers has distributed free to the public, also. This is also the duty of the newspaper owner. And then the retail saving, in the saving price, what was the price of that newspaper, it shall be written there. Point number 9. 10 says the names and the address of the newspaper where it is going to be published. If you will see the front page, top, there is a editor, publishing, cost, day, and the date, everything in the top. It is requires a monogram also. It requires according to this 1867 Act. And then any other, as you have seen that the under clause 1 of the section 3 of 1956 Act, it was the word any other matter. In the same way, here under section 19B of the 1867, which is related to the registration of the press, newspaper and the books, it has written as a point number 11 that any other matter which may be prescribed. It means matter related to these 10 points shall be prescribed, means the rules shall be made. By whom? By government, center government. Prescribed means the rules. And unless there will not be any rule, it is a duty to prescribe and to make the rules. That is the duty of the government if the mandate is given by the legislature. And the executive is, if you will see, the answerable to the legislature, to the parliament always. And parliament in the rule of law is supreme. In the sense that to make the law. This is my point. In the supreme, that is the another debate, who is the supreme in democracy. Don't confuse in that concept. But the parliament for making the law is the supreme in a democratic system where there is a rule of law. That is the point. And then the section 5 of the 1956 Act says that the return shall be filed by the newspaper owner as the ad shall be fixed. And we will see one case in this reference, that is the Sakal Paper Private Limited versus Union of India of the 1961 decision, 25th September. It has decided, and in detail, it is a constitutional bench decision. Tomorrow I will start this case. But come to the point that section 6, which says that the penalty, it is prescribed under section 6, and this penalty is not a corporate penalty. Its name is penalty. It means it is a fine. And a fine if the wrong information shall be given in the that return, if the information shall not be given, if the return shall not be filed, then 500, 1000, 2000, and it's like this. In the first instance, second instance, and third instance, there is a penalty. It is called the penalty. And a penalty means to impose the financial burden or financial fine on the newspaper owners if they will violate the provisions of this Act 1956. Sorry. And then section 7 is categorically says that cognizance of offense, who can file that case before the law, before the court of law, who has the power. The power is only given to file the case to the registrar of the press and books registration. Registrar have the power to file the basically of the case. No party, no individual have any power according to the provisions of section 7 of this Act only registrar have the power to file the case against the newspaper owner, and thus the complaint by the press registrar as prescribed under the act of the that is the 1867, and that is the or the registrar directly and a officer authorized by that registrar in this behalf. In this behalf means for that purpose. Only the registrar have the power to file the case, and secondly, any other officer as authorized by the registrar in this purpose or in this behalf. No other have the any right to file the case. Now you can say, sir, how the paper that the Sakal Papers Private Limited has filed the case? This is a writ petition, mind it. This is a writ petition, and in that case, the whole act was challenged before the Supreme Court under Article 32 on the ground of the violation of 19(1)(a) and 19(1)(g). And they have argued, means that company have argued, it was a, they were publishing on Marathi paper. We will discuss, but here I am going to clear that the mandate of section 7 says that only the registrar or any other officers as authorized by the registrar to file the case, there is a provision. And that provision in that sense raised one question, why the company has filed, because the company is not a registrar. The answer of this question is that it has challenged the whole act, but in violation of the provisions of the act. If any violation is there relating to this matter, this act of 1956, then only registrar, because the information shall be given to registrar. The registrar have the power to take the action, and registrar have the duty